Welcome back to my channel. My name is gothicloliangel, and today in this video I'm going to be going over my journey of becoming a live 2D rigger. Yes, you probably have seen me throughout social media recently, throughout these past couple of weeks, showcase some interesting models and things like that. And yes, I have learned the process to get into live 2D. Now, you may be wondering, Gothic, but we've seen you in a model before. Weren't you already a VTuber? And yes, you would be correct. But with my first model, I never bricked it. It was actually handled by someone else during that time. But I always knew I wanted to learn live 2D. But during that process, the videos were always way too confusing for me. I would easily get confused and lost. And then I would just put up the sound even learning. And that was until last year when I decided to finally purchase a course off of Colossal. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but a cool can manifest that to happen. So I ended up buying this course from Mr. Kitata, a live 2D modeler. Now this was perfect for me as I needed a course from someone in the industry with the skills and standards to help me learn the fundamentals of live 2D. Just like in art, not only having those fundamentals can make use of helping you learn the software as well as helping you learn to be able to break those skills and how to adapt to those skills. But even help me understand how the program works and how I can understand even those additional videos more. But Gothic, you said you did the course that you bought came with videos. And yes, you would be right. But the difference is that with Katata's course, he started at the very beginning of using Live 2D, teaching me every ins and outs and all the tools and features and buttons and what they represent and stand for. And he also even had a glorious section about copying. Yes, you all know that, especially if you're a fellow artist or any other creators out there, copying can be a really big and important and helpful aspect. Just by copying what someone else is doing, that can help you be able to figure out how things work and at least get an understanding from them just by jumping in and seeing what someone else is doing and working through it as they're working through the process. That was one of the biggest things that helped me learn to live 2D. It's just following what Katata was doing on his own sample model he had while I was using it on my model. Now, because of this, there were some things I didn't know about from his videos. I eventually learned afterwards on various other videos, which, again, if I didn't take his course, I would be able to understand those videos, and it really allowed me to help my model flourish and grow. But even then, there were still more things I was figuring out with the software, and I knew that even then I needed to be able to have my model be more improved as I learned things that I realized that I didn't have on it that I would see other VTuber models have that I knew I really wanted it to have. Now, here's one of the biggest things that I didn't realize when I first created my model that I realized that I screwed up on and spent so much time on, whereas usually when you're making a VTuber model and even using Live 2D in general, you have to set up stuff up entirely to be rigging and to go through that process. That what makes it different compared to any other software or tools even I normally have to do, is that you have to set up everything in parts, especially in particular for areas that you know you're going to be animating in, and even just knowing that you may potentially want to animate or to have move. Now, when I first started my model, I did not realize that I did not need a whole back section, because whenever I did look at videos in the beginning, before I fully understanding the software, I thought you had to have a little back view of your character, and that was not the case at all. So I spent, unfortunately, ungodly amount of time doing that action where I did not really need to be able to do a whole back view on it. Aside that, was fortunately I kept on to my original model and even put my rigger a lot of issue into doing, because again, I just didn't know that you didn't need to have it on there, and it just was like, it was just terrible overall. It really sucked because my model wasn't that bad, but because of those features, you could easily tell for certain moments that they were still stuff together, and that was because I didn't know, really. I tried to figure it out in the beginning, but again, I didn't know that you did not need that, and unfortunately I had to go through that process of just doing it to see that you didn't really need to have a whole back view of your character, only the front view of your character, and just certain parts that you'll see from the front of them. But once I realized that and starting to fix that process, that's where we can start to see that through my journey up through my models. Now, eventually, I got better with using Live 2D, and I'm going to show you that just a bit where I compare and showcase my first model design to my second model, even a third model, as well as some work that I've been working on to build up that portfolio for live TV in terms of all the different features that you can do within it. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm definitely enjoying to see what we can do with it, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it as well. Now, so this is my first model here, and with this model, I still, of course, love it. I love the design I took. I love what I did to come to design. It took a lot of work figuring out what kind of design I wanted to give this model about, based on my interest in learning how I wanted my character design to be and how I wanted the theme to be. Even though I realized eventually, because especially when I started on my second model, is that I didn't include things, elements that represented like things I like on it as much. I include the general like aesthetic that I guess I like, but not like what about in particular that represents my character theme and things of that nature. Which is why I included on my second model, which you'll see as well. But now we're just going to continue on with talking about the first model. Now again, as you can see on this model, I just opened up the PNG version. I did not open up the original file itself, the layers. Again, as I mentioned, I had this horrible attempt of not realizing that you didn't need a whole back view for it. And because of that, features and stuff that I wanted to do that I never got displayed, that I finally did get to have and display on, of course, being the second model, second outfit, was things like the strands are supposed to move. The clips, the bottom of the cape of the jacket still moves, but I said the back piece clips onto there, which it didn't need to be. And it still moved, but you could tell in places where I screwed up on things, everything looks awkward at times. And it really sucks because I didn't know about this again. And now that I also have the skills of ITD, I can do, as well as rig the model again myself, which I may do in the future, and do what we like to call a 1.0, which I've seen some models have as well, where they just do like tweaks to the model. It's the same model, but some say adjustments to make things better, which I'll probably will do with this model in the future. As again, I still got gonna wear it each time, but I do want to make the model more better and tweak up areas a bit. Change the shading, because the shading that they was not the best of the time. I wanted to at least figure out the kind of shading I would use for a YouTube model, because a lot of them are different and there's a certain kind of look and style that I still want to keep for myself, but we have to translate into a YouTube model, which I definitely expand and improve upon with my second model, which I'm really happy about. Again, I still love this model. It's just that I still need to fix it and improve upon it. And I'm really glad that I did. And I'm very happy for that. And as well, in another video, I will probably go further through the concept and features of my models. Because again, I went a lot through this model. Even before getting to my second model, I went through a lot of it. And I didn't necessarily come to this final design. I had to do a couple of things before I get to design, get the right color scheme, but figuring out what I wanted for my VTuber model's first look and appearance itself. So now we're going to go into my second and current model. Now this was created late last year, and generally it's a very much improvement of everything I did for my original model. I keep in contact with the theme I wanted for my model. Now, for those who don't know, obviously the color scheme released in terms of the main color, at least the color theme of the VTuber, at least in terms of the main focal points. A lot of VTubers have this thing, the hex code, a color code. You see, the color that's how I relates them the most. And if you haven't told by now with my VTuber model, at least I hope you have, that my main colors I want to keep associated with my character is the blue and black. And why? Because blue and black is a good color combination to go with. I always like the colors blue and black together. As you know, you have an OC with that color scheme, so I wanted to do that, the callback, and put that into my own design. So that's what I pretty much did with the second model. Now, while the other next main action would be the pink on the jacket, because again, I wanted some more, again, stronger, like punky VK look, and this is what I ultimately came to in terms of designing. I decided, okay, we can have some shorts. We could also do the skirt as well and give it a cool effect. Now, something I didn't think about doing, I'm doing now on illustration of mine for live TV is separating the veil like skirt like thing on the back. I think that would have been more cooler to have it animated, to have it flare off or separated, but I did not choose to do that. Not only that, this model was what I was using to try out and to study and to test out learning live TV on it. So there's a lot of things that I did not do compared to my other model I did, which was more for OC that I improved upon and to try other things as well. But I was really happy about this model. Again, there are some inconsistencies and some issues on it that I ended up going through. Now again, I guess the fold to me, because I was still figuring it out. But I'm more familiar with it, I'll know how to tackle it better, and as I'm still studying and on the tools and, figuring it out, I can hopefully make everything look better. But again, this is a model for myself and not for anybody, so I don't have to worry about having those weird inconsistencies. They do get a little annoying at times because again, it's like every time I look on my tablet, the model eyes don't always close fully. And it doesn't like it's open when it should be open when I'm looking sideways. So that's something I'll have to figure out doing. That I will have to ask and get advice on, which I'll definitely do. Because especially in various discords for live TD, such as the official live TD Discord itself. So at some point between me and my other model, which I'm working on, which I'm not going to share here, I will be asking help for that because it's a little inconvenient. It's something that I didn't realize that would happen. Yeah, I don't know what the cost is whenever I turn left and working to prevent that, but I will be asking that before I prepare to work on the next model and everything of that nature. But I think it's been a wonderful program. I really love it. I love the features in it. I love how you can animate and do so many things as well, create your own VTube models, and I've been working really hard in it. Because again, I just want to be able to improve and increase my skills and be just like a lot of those other famous VTube figures that are out there. And the biggest thing, since I do both art and rigging, I get to already have a fancy portfolio already just of what works, and I can create whatever I want and rig it whatever I want. So that's a certain thing as well. Because a lot of riggers I see, not all of them, but a lot of them are generally not artists. So I usually work with an artist and rigging on top of that artist's work. The fact that I have this feature and be able to do both of these things allows me to be able to know both ends of the work and be able to combine and do both of the work together and make that a simple and smooth transitional process. But again, I've enjoyed my 2D so far, and I'm pretty happy with the progress I've been making so far compared to my first model, which I didn't rig, to my second model, which is my first rigging, but updated new design, and to my eventual third model, which I'll eventually work on now when I feel I'm at a good point to be able to go into that next model in time. But again, also while you're seeing on my channel, I've been putting up some examples of my modeling work. Because again, your girl wants to get rigging jobs. And also for live today, tutorials work more for this case being more visual in video, so that's why I had to figure this out. I'm still trying to figure out the type of way how I want to showcase my work in a way that represents my branding and everything. But again, this is what I'm working with for now, and what I'm really ultimately in love with every aspect of it. But now this is when we come to the end of the video, so I do want to thank you all for watching. If you did stick by to it, I appreciate you all, and I know you're probably wondering where I've been. Because it's just me being kind of falling off the track. But you see I'm still around because of course I have been posting of the recent videos of my model showcases I've done, as well as for one of my OCs, Aliyah. If you saw, that one's a bit more improved because I learned more things after my original second outfit model. Being that model at this point was kind of, I wanted to get done already and move on, even though I was happy with it. It was like being on it much longer than I felt. But I am going to take things off of the Loyola that I learned and put it onto my main model, just because again there are things I didn't realize I could do, and I definitely want to include on this model to keep improving it. So I will do that at some point soon. But thank you all for watching again, and I will see you next time. Take care.